Strong to severe thunderstorms making their way across central and eastern Kentucky. I'm tracking the very latest on Live First Alert Defender just ahead.
Police say 3 members of the same family were shot in a Lexington neighborhood this weekend. 2 of them died. What people living nearby told us.
Police say a woman was kidnapped and assaulted in eastern Kentucky, and now the 2 people arrested are talking to us from jail.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Good evening to you. Tonight we continue to track strong and severe storms across parts of Kentucky, and we've declared a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day.
Severe storms this afternoon caused some damage. We've received this eyewitness photo from Russell County showing damage at the Alligator 2 Marine on Lake Cumberland. For the latest, we begin with WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. Chris.
Line of thunderstorms really coming together across eastern Kentucky. Another little line trying to develop just to the north of the Lexington metro. Let's get in up close and personal. New severe thunderstorm warnings are coming out along this line that we were pinpointing for the greatest threat for damaging winds a little bit ago. Severe thunderstorm warning until 6:30. Elliott, Johnson, Magoffin, and Morgan counties. And just to the south of that, new severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Breathitt, Lee, and Wolfe counties as well. Anytime you start to see a line coming together like that, it's got a little bit of a bow. Chances are it's going to have at least some minor wind damage. Getting in on some very strong storms here around Grayson, Olive Hill, toward Elliott County, right on top of the West Liberty area. That storm coming into town a little bit ago had a nice little shelf cloud, according to our WKYT weather watcher James Bryant, coming out of the Morgan County area, not too far away from West Liberty. Chances are he's getting drenched down there right now. A lot of thunder, a lot of lightning, and again, maybe some wind strong enough to take down a couple of tree branches or some power lines. We've had that with other storms throughout the day. That other severe thunderstorm warning for this cell that is heading toward parts of Breathitt County. Downtown Jackson, we'll keep an eye on that. It's over toward Beattyville into good old Lee County. Farther south and west from there, mainly very heavy rains that continue to fall, and that's going to fall on areas that have picked up a good 1, 2, localized 3-inch amounts so far on the day. Watching this other line that is very slowly now moving across northern parts of Scott County, Cynthiana, Harrison County, Mount Olivet, Robertson County. Keep an eye on this one. That may have some damaging winds and small hail as it rolls into Cynthiana coming up over the next 15 minutes or so. Live First Alert Defender with everything in motion, showing the thunderstorm threat that's going to continue as we go through the next few hours.
Tonight, we're learning more about 2 separate shootings in Lexington that targeted 3 members of the same family. 2 of the victims later died.
People living in the neighborhood nearby say they're fed up with the violence. Police say 2 brothers were shot last night on Whitney Avenue, and a few hours later, a man relatives identify as their uncle was shot on nearby Charles Avenue. Kristen Kennedy is tracking the investigation in our top story at 6.
Neighbors on Whitney Avenue heard shots first. They told us someone fired into a car parked near the curb. Montez Graves died. Police say he was sitting in the car, and just a few hours later, family tell us his uncle, Ronnie Graves, died 1 block down on Charles Avenue.
There was a lot of policemen, cars, and rescue squad, and I saw a car that was horizontal up there, and I asked my husband what had happened. And he said somebody had gotten shot.
Bonnie Dawson has lived on Charles Avenue for more than 30 years.
I know most of the people on the street. They know us. And there are people that, you know, if we leave, they watch our house and everything. So I'm not really scared.
Family tell us the 3rd gunshot victim, Freddie Spillman, is recovering.
The common thread in all of these cases is that we have very little suspect information, and we have limited information on some of the events surrounding these cases.
So far, police have only arrested 1 person. Jermaine Anderson is charged with fleeing, tampering with physical evidence, and facing drug charges in connection to the Whitney Avenue shooting. They say it's too soon to tell if all 3 cases are connected. In Lexington, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
Lexington police are looking for a car that may have been involved in the Whitney Avenue shooting. They're searching for a dark-colored Kia SUV with Virginia tags last seen in the area Sunday night. Lexington police have not made any arrests for another weekend shooting. Police say early yesterday morning, 2 men were shot outside Diamonds, a strip club on Winchester Road. At last check, one of them was still in critical condition at UK Hospital. Police are still trying to figure out what led to this shooting.
Tonight, the southbound lanes of Interstate 75 have reopened hours after a horrific crash on the Clays Ferry Bridge. Investigators say a semi burst into flames and hit a barrier earlier this morning. This is eyewitness video showing the fire on the bridge. Crews later found the driver dead under the bridge along the Kentucky River. Sean Moody has the latest.
This was the scene in the southbound lanes of the Clays Ferry Bridge around 6:20 this morning. Police said a semi-truck hit a barrier and then caught fire. That fire spread quickly, engulfing the entire cab. Firefighters did what they could to get the flames out. There wasn't much left of the truck. For a little while after the crash, Lexington firefighters weren't sure where the truck driver had gone. It turns out he had somehow gone over the side of the Clays Ferry Bridge. They found his body several hundred feet below. No one knows exactly how the man ended up at the bottom of the bridge, whether he got thrown from the truck during an explosion or if he got disoriented and fell. Firefighters called in their special operations team to get to his body.
Actually getting personnel to that spot proved to be somewhere between a 1 and 2 hour affair.
They used a rope haul system to recover the man's body. The coroner hasn't released his name, but said he's a 52-year-old man from Miami. He said the man didn't appear to have any burns. The special operations team also brought in their hazmat people to help clean up about 100 gallons of diesel that had fallen down into the Kentucky River.
100 gallons is a decent amount, but we don't anticipate it having any major impact to both the intake or to wildlife.
The crash tied up southbound traffic on I-75 for hours. Police reopened the interstate late this afternoon. In Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Firefighters said the truck was hauling a large piece of electrical equipment.
A frightening ordeal for an eastern Kentucky woman. Police say she was kidnapped, tied up, and assaulted in Breathitt County. And tonight, 3 people face charges in the case. Police arrested Sharon Campbell, William Gardner, and David Haddix. Today, Haddix and Campbell told us their sides of the story from jail. Victor Puente has the latest on the investigation, new at 6.
Police say 3 people held a woman against her will for hours. All 3 are now at Three Forks Regional Jail. And 2 of them say they had nothing to do with her kidnapping. Police say the ordeal started when David Haddix's ex-girlfriend met him, William Gardner, and Sharon Campbell at a park and ride in Jackson late Thursday night.
Took her up to an isolated area in South Fork and shot her car and threatened her, trying to find out where the fellow he thought was going out with, because he was going to kill him.
Chief Spicer says she would be held against her will until her mother picked her up Saturday. Before that, police received an anonymous call to check on the woman.
Because they come to my house and questioned her, are you okay? Are you in any harm? You know, is anybody bothering you? And she said no. And then when the cops left, she jumped right back in the car with him.
David Haddix says he never harmed her.
I do know that she was held against her will, but by me, no.
The woman's mother took her to the hospital to be treated for bruising and broken blood vessels in her eye. Her car was found with bullet holes and buckshot marks. Police say when they found Haddix and Gardner, they uncovered this sawed-off shotgun. Haddix says he has hit his ex-girlfriend in the past.
Not like totally straight up, you know, you beat her down. But you know, just to more or less make her stop and listen, but not during that situation.
Spicer says police were worried about the possibility of a violent confrontation because all 3 were high on methamphetamine when police arrested them.
Drugs, man. It's just a dope. It's got a hold on people.
The chief tells me while they had Haddix in custody, he admitted to a Shell Mart robbery that they had been investigating. In Lee County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Chief Spicer says William Gardner already had a warrant out for his arrest from Wolfe County.
2 women charged in the murder of an elderly Rockcastle County woman say they're not guilty. Tabitha Howard and Kimberly Slusher were arraigned today on murder and robbery charges. Police say the 2 killed 86-year-old Mary Hinton in her home last week. From jail, both women told us they are innocent, but prosecutors say they have plenty of evidence against them.
And I think that these 2 need to pay the ultimate price for what they did to this elderly woman. They knew she was blind, you know, or she couldn't see well at the very least.
Also today, the judge refused to lower Howard and Slusher's bonds. They're still set at $750,000 each. There seems to be an app for everything these days. And now there's a new smartphone app designed to help drivers who may be intoxicated if they're stopped by police.
But it may be more harmful than helpful when it comes to staying out of jail. Miranda Combs explains.
This is the Dewey Dialer app. It will record the conversation if a driver is pulled over for a possible DUI. It will then send the conversation to a DUI attorney in your area.
That's really our motto. It's like having an attorney in your pocket.
Daniel Delgado is the co-founder of the app. He says it's a useful tool for anyone who may find themselves in a drunk driving encounter with police.
There are a lot of police officers now that are wearing body cams or some kind of recording device.
I mean, but to record something, if you want to document it later to present to an attorney, there's not an officer that's going to have a problem with that. You have a legal right to do that.
But former police detective Don Evans says the app may be more harmful than helpful.
Are you going to get the app out while you're talking to the officer and have your hands moving around? And how's that going to perceive? Does that put the officer in jeopardy? Does it put you in jeopardy if the officer thinks that maybe you're grabbing something other than your cell phone? You have to be careful with this stuff.
Evans says the app may be new, but something that's been trending for a while is saying nothing.
You also have a trend where people are just presenting a card that's given to them by certain attorneys that says, you pulled me over, but I refuse to cooperate. Here's my driver's license. Issue a citation, but I'm not going to cooperate with anything.
How are you tonight, ma'am? This is doing a safety checkpoint. Can I see your license and insurance registration, please?
Evans says not talking during a DUI stop is legal, but may not be in the driver's best interest. He says most drivers pulled over for a possible DUI are not arrested. So if you don't give an officer a chance to look at all the evidence, the driver may be setting themselves up for an arrest that might not have happened if the driver would have just cooperated.
You have to make that decision individually when you're stopped. Whether or not you want that to be the basis the officer makes the assessment, or you want to show them that you're not drunk.
All right, you have a safe night. Be careful.
In Lexington, Miranda Combs, WKYT.
Right now, the app is only available for Android devices.
Tonight, horse racing fans are still buzzing about American Pharoah, the first Triple Crown winner since 1978.
And now they are turning their attention to the next big racing event, the Breeders' Cup at Keeneland this October. Today, organizers announced activities for fans in Lexington in the days leading up to the Breeders' Cup. A festival will include food trucks, live music, and fireworks.
There's a festival of events going on the entire week. I would not be shocked at all to see 10, 15,000 people downtown Lexington every night that week celebrating this.
Racing experts say the Breeders' Cup could feature American Pharoah's final race before retiring. The Breeders' Cup is October 30th and 31st. It will be so busy, but so exciting.
What a weekend.